Was having a conversation yesterday with a fellow activist, and we were talking about we really need some muscle, some people who know how to do some real smackdowns. I was telling him about how I used to frequent the Star Wars message boards back in the day, and that's how I met my co-founder for Undercovered Magazine. Shaman was part of a group called the Four Horsemen, and they were doing a lot of smackdowns like this. But Fatboy was an actual moderator on the site. Wonder what he's up to. He was a part of this group when we first migrated to Facebook back in like 2008, 2009. He was a part of this group when it got kicked off. It was kicked off because they were shutting down the boards and they were going to delete everything that we had ever written over like a 10-year period. So we were trying to capture some of our favorite posts, and these were a couple of mine, some of his smackdowns. So I'll read it to you. Somebody started like a Jar Jar Binks hate thread, basically. Somebody started like a Jar Jar Binks hate thread. I want to see everyone who still thinks Jar Jar jokes are cutting edge, haha, height of comedy type stuff. I want them cloned. And then I want their fingers chopped off and their tongues yanked out forcibly. And then I want them beaten with a makeshift weapon comprised of their fingers and tongue, beaten until their lumpy, misshapen face can no longer contort into a grimace. And then I'll ban them all and giggle maliciously and dance and sing and add isas and usas to the end of everything I say and break wind on their pulped skull like the Opie did to Jar Jar. And then I'll unban them and ban them again. And then someone will give them back their tongues and their fingers, and we'll all go back to regular posting. Okie day, Fatboy. I fucking loved his smackdowns. They were so good. Here's another one. Frankly, I don't care what Fatboy thinks. I'm hurt. That was sarcastic. I thought I should put that in parentheticals because otherwise it might be misconstrued. Yes, both misconstrued and parentheticals are real words, and on top of that, they're spelled correctly. Yes, my continued use of parentheticals is a continuation of the sarcasm in this post. Yes, I'm an egotistical blowhard, and I do realize I'm running this joke into the ground. You'll live, and if you don't live, there are other boards. In the afterlife, heaven's got a T1 connection, and God has better moderators. They're sarcastic too. Sarcasm is like gold in heaven. I know. Gabriel descended and told me one day, he was like, I inspired you to do that banning. And I said, word, thanks, Gabriel. And we shared a plate of cheese fries. He also had, I did not capture it, but he also had a love line type thread where like ask Fatboy for love advice type thread. And so people would drop their questions in and he would just like give you a smackdown. He was so funny. He was in our group for a little bit and then he got bored with us and disappeared. The group isn't very active anymore anyway because like just like any other group, people are constantly like, oh, I'm going to set up a side group so I can exclude the people I don't get along with, right? And they keep doing that over and over again. So I don't know how many groups are out there, but I was sucked into like 2 additional groups from our little crowd. You know, y'all should get over yourselves. That's all I'm saying.